Today I'm going to be demonstrating how our global custom state works. It's brought to you by Best No Code Studio, me, Gio, and Guillaume Maison. So let's get into the details, right? So imagine you've got a side menu and you want to display the details on a desktop version and then sometimes hide it, sometimes display it. Let me build that logic right now. So first, what I have to do is drop the global custom state on the page. So this is the element name global custom state show menu. I'm gonna define the state name to be the same. Data type would be yes or no, and default value, let's make it no. So our custom state can have two values at the same time, but it can have only one data type. So it can have a list and it can hold the individual item. So I'm gonna make it last. All right, so I'm gonna define the logic or conditional on this text, saying when global custom state show menus state value is yes, this element is visible. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is define the workflow. So when global custom state show menus state value is no, I'm gonna set the state of global custom state. Make sure you're not setting the state of an element to when it's no, I'm gonna set it to yes, and when it's yes, I'm going to set it to no. All right, let's demonstrate. All right, works fine. But this can be done by Bubble's native custom state as well. However, what it cannot do is I'm inside the reusable element. All right, I've got a button inside, and I'm gonna drop global custom state on a page and define the state name to be exactly the same as the one that we have on the page. So it's GCS show menu. Global, so GCS stands for global custom state. Data type was yes and no. By default, it should be no. And what I'm gonna do is when I click on show menu, I'm gonna set the state of global custom state to be yes when it is no. And I'm gonna set it to no when it is yes. All right, all good. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drop this reusable onto the page. This is it. So now we see that the element from within the reusable speaks to a page. Now let's do the opposite as well. What I'm gonna do is when global custom state value is yes, I'm gonna change the text to hide menu. And by the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to explain that there is no difference. I mean, there is a big difference between the element name and the state name. So I think we're good here. Hide menu, show menu, hide menu. All right, so this is cool, but what's even cooler is what I'm going to demonstrate right now. So imagine we've got a repeating group inside a reusable element, and right now let me just to show you, we've got option set user and we've got two users, Gio and Guillaume, and so we're doing them not search, but we're just getting all the option sets, and we've got the user name in here, right? So I'm gonna go to an index, and I have also added the group where we've got the user. So which user we're gonna display right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to drop global custom state GCS selected user. I'm going to define the name to be the same. Type would be option set user, default value, let's make it geo. I'm going to make it last. All right, and I'm going to make a data source, to be the selected user's value. All right, so the rest of this is pretty simple. You guys all know type of content, data source is this, and then parent groups, OS user and OS user's full name, OS user's, this should not be full name, this should be Twitter, like a handle. So we're good. And now I'm gonna move back to my repeating group, which is inside the reusable, and I'm gonna do the following. Add workflow. When this is clicked, I'm gonna set the state of, oh sorry, I have to drop another custom state because this was for the previous one, right? Like for the show menu. So I'm gonna drop another custom state called GCS, I think I have it here, yep, selected user, this one, OS user, default value, as I remember, was geo. And then when I click on this, I'm going to set the state of selected user to be current sales OS user. And let me do one more thing. When GCS selected users value is current sales OS user, let's make background color a little more blue. We've got Geo, best bubble dev, and we've got Guillaume, best noodle dev, and then Geo and Guillaume. I recommend you guys start using global custom state. And also there is a couple of extra stuff that I wanted to talk about. There is important side notes and some tips. So global custom state has to be visible on the page. So if it's hidden, or if you group it inside a variable group, like a group where you hold all the variables or all the plugins, make sure that top group is visible also, because it has to be visible on the page. You can make it 1 pixel by 1 pixel and then have it in mind while you're designing the page. But yeah, just make sure it's visible. Do not put it inside the pop-up unless the action has to happen inside the pop-up. Referring to global custom state, so when you drop the global custom state element on a page, you have to fill parameters in order to be able to refer to it. So this is what it means. Imagine we've got this global custom state in here, right? And if I delete all of this, like if I delete the value, if I clear selection, and I only got the name, when I want to refer to it, GCS selected user value, and that's it. It doesn't give me any options because it doesn't know what's the value that this global custom state holds. Communication element name via state name. So basically the way all this works is that this element, which is inside the reusable, talks to the same element which is on the page itself. GCS selected user is talking to GCS selected user. However, I could name this GCS selected user 1, 2, 3 and keep this one GCS selected user regular. But what I have to make sure is this name, state name, and this state name are the same. Otherwise, they won't communicate to each other. So if you have a custom state inside the reusable, which has unique name like 1, 2, 3, this custom state is the parent custom state on its own. So you can refer to this from anywhere else, from other reusables or other repeating groups or from the page. Okay, there is some more stuff. Yeah, setting the state. So when setting the state value, yeah, make sure not to confuse state of an element with the state value of global custom state, because remember, this is still an element, right? So it can have its own regular Bubbles native custom state. So yeah, make sure you don't confuse it, and then don't say the plugin doesn't work or something. And then managing multiple global custom states. So in order to manage everything we recommend that you drop parent global custom states on the index page. Well, not just index, but wherever you're on whatever page you're using it, right? Drop it and then maybe group them and make it like 1 pixel by 1 pixel and just hide it somewhere, maybe under the floating group. However you decide, it's totally up to you. Just make sure it's visible. And one more thing, which is like pretty genius, is the way these global custom states are built allows us to define the name dynamically, which allows you to create all the possible custom states in advance, right? So we're gonna have, well, not necessarily in advance, but whenever you want to define the name, first you come here, you create the option set. So we've got show menu, hide pop-up, current brand, current user, whatever you want, right? And what I can do is name could be retrieved from the option sets, it's display, and that's it. So now when I want to refer to this from somewhere else, let's say from this one, I can also do get an option, custom states, show menu. So now these two elements are sort of talking to each other. I guess that's all.